Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Indigo Diamond here to talk about the latest episode of Canada's Drag Race Season 3. I feel like I keep trying to say Season 2. Before we get into the video, make sure you hit the subscribe button, like the video, and tell me down below who are you rooting for. Yeah. I wasn't a big fan of how this episode turned out, I must admit. I don't know if you guys will agree. I just wasn't too keen on the judging. Like how they placed people. Wasn't convinced, if I'm honest. So this week they had to lip sync in pairs, but it's essentially like a choreographed lip sync that they had to do. I will say I was kind of sad that Brad Goreski wasn't there. I don't know why he wasn't. Maybe he was busy. I don't know. Or maybe they had just planned not to have him there for some reason. Instead, we had Vanjie and we had Hollywood Jade. So, I don't know. It was fine. It was just weird, and I really like Brad. And I think he's very cute, so I'm sad that he wasn't there. So, let's get into it. So, the challenge was really quite good. There were quite a few people that did well. There were a couple of people that didn't do so well. Bombae and Fierce were in a group. They didn't do so well. And Chelazon Leroux and Kaos were in a group. They didn't do so well. For me, if I'd picked a top two / winner, I would have picked Vivian, Vanderpuss and Gisele. Lullaby, they were like they have to win, and I'm happy for them to win as a group. After them, it was Kimmy, Couture and Lady Boom Boom. They were like my top four. But then like during the critiques, they essentially like almost ripped Vivian and Gisele apart. And they were like, oh, you didn't seem like you were fully in it. Like you were like looking back a bit, and like she was doing quite well, but you just seemed a bit timid, and some of the dance moves were quite simple. And I'm like, I thought they did really well. Like I really loved it with the song that they did. I thought they slayed it. I didn't even notice that Vivian was looking back because I was too busy watching them do their little dance moves. They were fantastic, and for me, because the runway theme was sleeves, they had the like best sleeves looks. So they were like my favourites, and yes, they ended up being safe, but Lady Boom Boom and Kimmy Couture were in the top, but they ended up being made safe. And then they had like the other top two, apart from Kimmy and Lady Boom Boom, they had just Jada, Shada, Hudson, and Irma Gerd. And I was sat there going, oh, okay, so they're going to give it to Irma Gerd. And then they gave it to Jada. And I was like, what? I was like, for me, out of that group, Irma Gerd was the standout. Like, I was focusing on Irma Gerd every time she was there. And then when Jada came and did her twerking, I was sat there and I was like, it's not moving. Like, when you twerk your ass, it's supposed to move. It's supposed to, like, jiggle. That's literally the whole point of it. And I don't know whether it was because of the bodysuit she was wearing. It didn't move. There was no movement there. She was just moving her butt from side to side. And I was like, well, this isn't very good. And they gave her the win. And I was like, I smell production. Literally, hands down, I smell production. That is what I think has happened with this episode. Because I'm sorry, I'm confused. Jada should have been safe. Out of that duo, if they were going to pick a winner from there, it should have been Irma Gerd. Irma Gerd. The bottom two were Chelazon Leroux and Miss Fiercalicious, whose name I still can't say. Which I was fine with the bottom two. But then it came to who they sent home, and I was like, but she did worse in the lip sync. Because they sent home Chelazon Leroux over Miss Fiercalicious. And I'm like, but Fierce wasn't very good. There was no emotion in Miss Fiercalicious's lip sync. And Chelazon Leroux did nothing but give emotion. And it was an emotional song. So why did you pick Fiercalicious? And then I sat there and went, I know why they picked Fiercalicious. I still can't say her name. It's very irritating. Um, because she gives good television. Because she's been a little brat all episode. Now, I will say, as a side note, she was a little brat through most of the episode, but when she was confronted about it, she did explain herself and she did apologise and she wasn't prompted for the apology and it was a genuine apology. Now, for me, I sat there and went, okay, I can hold my hands up. That was a very grown up and very good move. Like, I can sit there and say that. But for the rest of the episode, she's been a bit of a shite. And honestly, I'm still not the biggest fan. I think she should have gone home this episode. But, that being said, let's... She wasn't terrible in the lip sync. It's just that I don't think she connected with the song like Chelazon did, which is what I would have picked Chelazon. And I'm hoping, keeping my fingers crossed, that moving forward after this episode, that she's going to be, I want to say more mindful of her attitude and stuff. I don't know. It's one of those things, like, the other reason I think they maybe might have kept her is because she's very cute as a boy and she's got a nice bum and she keeps showing her bum. But my problem is every time she shows her bum, she's tucked and I'm like, just let it all hang out. Let me see you naked. It's fine. Got off track. But yeah, so I just didn't feel the judging on this episode. I didn't feel like people were necessarily placed where they should have been. I feel like the bottom two was fine. I don't agree with who won the challenge. I think the thing is, like, the other three that were in the top, honestly, I would have been fine with. And if they had given any of them, like, the winner, I probably would have been like, meh, yeah, fine. I'm okay with that. Jada, for me, she just wasn't that good. She didn't stand out, and I didn't like her runway. So, I don't know. But, you know, because that's the other thing that made me kind of like think production as well, because Jada's like very well known going into the season again. You know, she's got a lot of high expectations, so I'm wondering if it's partially like the Karen from Finance situation with Down Under season 1, where they're like, well, you know, she clearly didn't win the lip sync, but we want to see her go far because everyone knows who she is. So yeah, you won the lip sync, come on. That's just how it comes across to me. But, you know, hopefully moving forward, Jada will, I don't know, actually either do well or, you know, she won't do well and she'll hopefully get kicked off if she doesn't do well and they won't just keep trying to save her, sort of thing. Because that's the thing, when a queen doesn't do well and she doesn't end up in the bottom, you know, it's kind of one of those things where you're like, well, clearly you're just trying to save her. It's like a bit like Bag of Chips, you know. There were times where clearly she should have been in the bottom on both seasons, but she didn't end up in the bottom, and it's purely, I think, because they were like, well, if we put her in the bottom, she's going home. But it is what it is. At the end of the day, this is one episode. Hopefully, you know, the judging will take a different turn moving forward. I don't know. It just seemed a bit weird to me. You know, I don't think the right person won. I don't think the right person went home. I don't know. Leave me a comment down below. What did you think of the episode? Do you agree with who won the challenge? Do you agree with who went home? I think Chelazon should still be here at this point, but now she's third out. So, I don't know. Leave me a comment down below. While you're down there, hit that subscribe button, like the video, and I will see you lovely people next week, hopefully for a better episode of Canada's Drag Race. Bye!